In football, anything can happen in a second. Discover the most shocking and surprising moments due to conflicts captured by the cameras. But first, subscribe. Neymar and Nelson Semedo were caught on camera when they were about to come to blows during an FC Barcelona training session in the United States. The Brazilian reproached his teammate for a tough tackle and confronted him. Sergio Busquets had to intervene to prevent the altercation from ending in punches. The cameras also captured an awkward moment between João Cancelo and Cristiano Ronaldo. During an exercise, CR7 approached the Portuguese fullback, put his arm around his neck, and made a comment. Cancelo tried to walk away, but Ronaldo insisted, grabbing his head with both hands. Annoyed, Cancelo pulled away and walked off with a look of frustration. In a promotional video for Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne put on goalkeeper gloves in a small football goal. The penalty taker attempted a Rabona shot, but the ball bounced off the post and hit the Belgian directly in the face. Juventus shared a video where the players were competing in a challenge. Ronaldo insisted that he wanted to win because he never misses goals. Allegri ended the discussion by telling the Portuguese star that if he scored, he would win the challenge. Cristiano took the ball with determination, scored, and celebrated with his classic Siu. It doesn't matter if it's a Champions League final or a simple training session. The commander always gives his all. In another episode, Lionel Messi received a hard tackle from Sergio Ramos during a match. Despite the hit, the Argentine continued the play and scored with a great right-footed finish. After the action, Ramos approached to apologize and hug him, but Messi rejected him and said a few words before walking away. At Real Madrid, Lucas Vázquez lost his patience after being mocked in a warm-up rondo. When he regained the ball, he fired it at Toni Kroos. Sergio Ramos was the first to reprimand him, while the German, with his usual composure, criticized his attitude. Fortunately, the situation didn't escalate. The cameras captured the exact moment when Lacazette knocked down young Jack Henry Francis. Edric seemed to reproach the Frenchman for his rough play, which didn't sit well with Lacazette. In response, the striker grabbed the defender by the throat, forcing teammates to intervene to prevent the situation from escalating. A big commotion ensued, but luckily, it didn't go further. We know Robben for his great matches and the occasional dive, but rarely have we seen images of him fighting with teammates in training. While he wasn't a saint, he also wasn't one to start conflicts. Derby scored a stunning free-kick goal against Manchester United, securing a tie. Paul Pogba, watching from the stands, shared a video of the moment on his Instagram account, laughing alongside teammates Pereira and Luke Shaw. United ended up eliminated from the Carabao Cup, and Jose Mourinho was furious with Pogba for the post. The coach believed the video had been uploaded after the match, creating tension in the team's training session the next day. Real Madrid has also experienced tense moments in training. A friendly match almost turned into a fight when the players became overly aggressive. An elbow raised too high caused tensions between teammates, turning fun into confrontation. Sometimes a simple training session under light rain with fired-up players can spark problems. On one occasion, a player refused to stand by after being fouled and sought revenge in the same way, but the outcome was unfortunate. He injured his teammate, angering the rest of the squad. At PSV, Memphis Depay and Joshua Brenet got into a fistfight during practice. The incident was caught on video recording the training session. The Dutch international slapped the defender, who responded by grabbing him by the neck. Teammates intervened immediately, and the coach decided to expel both from the session. During a Spanish national team training session, Carles Puyol and Vicente came to blows. The incident began when Puyol made a hard tackle on Vicente near the left wing, accompanied by an elbow. The midfielder got up furiously and pushed the defender. Puyol criticised his reaction and both got into a fight, an unusual sight in the national team. Ousmane Dembélé and goalkeeper Roman Bürki had a heated argument at Borussia Dortmund. The young Frenchman had to be held back by a teammate to prevent a fight with the Swiss goalkeeper. Marc Bartra, Gonzalo Castro and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang quickly intervened to stop the conflict from escalating. Carlos Tevez also got into a fight with a teammate at Corinthians. The Argentine striker and defender Marquinhos exchanged punches before being separated by other players. Marquinhos left the field with a bleeding wound. Antonio Conte and Lautaro Martinez had an unexpected conflict during an Inter match. The coach decided to substitute the Argentine striker, who reacted angrily, kicking objects on his way to the bench. "You should show respect instead of acting like a big shot," Conte reportedly told him. Hours later, they resolved their conflict in an unusual way. A boxing match during training, with Romelu Lukaku as the event's announcer. Pep Guardiola showed his frustration during a Bayern Munich training session after an unnecessary move by Thiago Alcantara. The Spanish coach demands seriousness and simplicity in play, so he does not tolerate unnecessary flair. He reprimanded Thiago for a flashy move before assisting Dante, even though the play ended in a goal. Another tense moment occurred at Chelsea when David Luiz elbowed Gonzalo Higuain in the last training session before the 2019 Europa League final against Arsenal. The incident happened at the Baku Olympic Stadium after the players had inspected the pitch. Coach Maurizio Sarri tried to calm things down, but ended up storming off the training session visibly furious. Enzo Fernandez and Mason Mount, former Chelsea teammates, had a brief but intense clash during a match between Manchester United and the Blues. Despite having shared a team for 6 months, the tension between them was evident. During a PSG training session, players pulled off 2 nutmegs in a row, sparking Neymar's euphoria. The Brazilian started jumping with joy until he noticed a camera had captured the moment, leaving the scene immortalized. While his teammates were calmly practicing a rondo, Thomas Müller stormed in with a megaphone, shouting and commentating on the play as if he were a broadcaster. He took the ball, ran towards the goal and scored. His surprised teammates couldn't help but laugh after the initial shock. From Cristiano Ronaldo furiously confronting the referee for ignoring a penalty to Vinicius Jr., clashing with Grealish over an unnecessary foul, football has given us many tense moments. Even in Saudi Arabia, an Al Ittihad fan responded with whips to Abderrazak Hamdallah after their Super Cup defeat. Paulo Dybala had a heated exchange with Matteo Guendouzi in a League One match. After trading unfriendly words, the Argentine showed him his shin guard, which had an image of the 2022 World Cup, reminding him of Argentina's victory over France. Ousmane Dembélé faced his former team Barcelona as a PSG player and scored the equalising goal. The Barca fans, outraged, greeted him with insults and burned his jersey. Unfazed, the Frenchman scored again in the return match. During the game between Arsenal and Porto, Kai Havertz gave a strong shove to the Portuguese team's coach, Sergio Conceição. The play only resulted in a warning for the Arsenal player from the referee. Some rival fans chanted the name of the Portuguese Ronaldo to distract him. But it was all for nothing, absolutely nothing, because the Argentine number 10 has admirable concentration and scored that incredible goal. With a goal from Lionel Messi and another from Luis Suarez at the end, Inter Miami drew 2-2 against Nashville in the first leg of the Conca Champions round of 16. Alejandro Garnacho shined with a goal for Manchester United to make it 2-0 against West Ham in the Premier League. His celebration was somewhat directed at Kudus, as the West Ham player had celebrated in the same way when he scored against Garnacho's team. Unfortunately for them, Marcelo received the ball on the left wing, nutmegged his opponent, passed him on the outside and used his body to shield the ball. He ended up falling in a challenge with Tau, who did not seem to have fouled him. Now, apparently one of the players was injured after a collision with an opponent, but the ball kept rolling. His teammates wanted to kick it out of play, but an opponent intercepted it before it crossed the sideline. Not content with that, He advanced toward the opposing goal and the play continued until the ball ended up in the back of the net. His furious teammates protested, but the referee did not enforce fair play. Polish referee Szymon Marciniak, who officiated the unforgettable 2022 World Cup final in Qatar, did not hesitate to award the penalty, and VAR confirmed his decision. Colombian Arias stepped up and scored the first goal, leading his team to the final. Bayer Leverkusen had the chance to secure the Bundesliga title for the first time. The fans couldn't contain their excitement and stormed the pitch, knowing they had won the title. The players asked them to return to their seats. Doku from Manchester City attempted to clear a high ball in the box, but McAllister got there first, and the Belgian's boot hit the World Cup champion's chest, leaving him lying on the ground. The Argentine, who had scored the equaliser for the home team, was struck in the box and called for a penalty. Quito Diaz, a player for Barcelona SC of Guayaquil, scored an incredible goal from a corner kick against Montevideo Wanderers in a Copa Sudamericana match. The goalkeeper was caught off guard, and Diaz pulled off a true masterpiece from the penalty spot. Cristiano Ronaldo was quick-witted in the match between Manchester United and Newcastle. He noticed that the opposing defender had taken a free kick after the referee's whistle and stole the ball from the goalkeeper, who was preparing to retake it. He turned the move into a goal, but despite this, the referee did not validate it, and the match ended 0-0, leaving Ronaldo furious about the decision, especially since he was also given a yellow card. City and Tottenham were tied at 3 goals when referee Simon Hooper failed to apply the advantage rule just as Grealish was breaking away one-on-one with goalkeeper Vicario. Matteo Guendouzi got into a heated altercation on the sideline with Pulisic. The Lazio player received a straight red card in stoppage time. Guendouzi was sent off for an aggressive act as he pushed off Pulisic, who was holding on to him. The referee recorded it as violent conduct. Jude Bellingham clashed with Lisandro Martinez in the friendly match where Real Madrid defeated Manchester United. In the 41st minute of the first half, with Madrid leading by 1, Martinez tackled Bellingham, and they confronted each other in the middle of a supposedly friendly match. The Argentine defender ended up with a yellow card, but Jude doesn't back down from anyone. Despite goalkeepers being nearly untouchable in the box, he didn't stop his run, and the keeper collided with the Madrid number 5, who was clearly unhappy, and let him know with some harsh words. After the ball hit the net, the Bayern star angrily kicked it before smashing a nearby camera. He definitely let his emotions get the best of him. Hammer tried to recover the ball with a violent tackle on Bassi. The Nigerian didn't appreciate the Brentford player's attitude and grabbed him by the neck, which of course triggered an even worse reaction from Hammer. Wilfried Zaha had a golden opportunity to beat Dibu Martinez. The forward decided to give the Aston Villa keeper a taste of his own medicine by scoring off a rebound. The Villa player had to be restrained by his teammates as they approached Zaha to confront him. Nunez grabbed Antony and pushed him while the Brazilian tried to break free from his pressure. However, Antony, being just as much of a fighter, didn't back down against the then Benfica striker. He attempted a chipped penalty, but the ball rolled slowly into the keeper's hands. Later, he redeemed himself with a stunning goal, making the perfect statement to win back his fans. At the start of the second half, Portuguese coach Mourinho decided to bring on his compatriot Renato Sanchez. Without any explanation, the controversial manager then substituted him out for Eduardo Bove. Sanchez couldn't believe it. He was completely bewildered as seen in the images, but he had no choice but to leave the field.